Hey everyone, in this video I'm going to talk about how to start a headshot photography business. So I'm Daniel Norton, photographer in New York. I make videos like this about business, about philosophy. I'll turn on my porch. If you're interested in that kind of stuff, go ahead and subscribe. So I get a lot of marketing questions, very specific to people, and it's hard to answer because everybody's a little bit different. And even making like a plan in general doesn't make sense. So what I'm going to do in these videos, this one in particular, is I'm going to just talk about a fictitious photographer and how they will be able to get going shooting headshots. So as always, it kind of comes down to what made you do it, right? Like, why are you doing headshots? And in this case, I'm going to say that this person is an actor. They're an actor. They need headshots, right? They know lots of actors that need headshots. So they think, hey, this is a way that I can make a little bit of money. They've always been interested in photography. So they're going to start a headshot business. So step one, the most basic thing that you need, obviously, when trying to do a headshot business is you need to shoot some headshots, right? You need something to show. So being that they're an actor, they're going to seek out some of their friends. Here, I would be very particular about who you shoot for free. This is important because if you just put the word out there, hey guys, I'm doing a day of free headshots, come by, then you're putting yourself out there as somebody who shoots free headshots. Make sense? What you want to do is very particularly pick people, number one, that that you think will be good on camera, because you're new to this, and number two, that are closer friends to you that you feel like won't just run around going, oh yeah, he'll shoot you for free, and let them know. Say, hey, I want to do your headshot because I'm starting a business. So if people ask you, this is my rate or whatever, because you definitely don't want to start off that path. Don't go on social and just blast out there, hey, I'll shoot your headshot for free to build my portfolio. For that kind of business, like a headshot business in general, a lot of work is going to be through word of mouth, right? So it's not like you put up a poster on the side of the road and people come. That might work. But generally speaking, you're going to get a lot of your business through word of mouth, so you don't want to already send down your social chain that you shoot for free. So be wary of that. Pick a few people, pick a variety of people. Because one thing I can tell you about headshots is this. People want to see themselves. I think this is less true for like models, because I feel like models are, just a different breed. But when somebody sees, like, I've literally had people come to me and be like, oh, but have you ever shot, a redhead with freckles? Or, it's like, because me as a photographer, and you, if you're a photographer, you're probably thinking, well, it doesn't really matter. I mean, everybody's, got, but whatever, they want to see that, right? They want to see what you did with the redhead with freckles. So give yourself a good mix, women, men, a couple different age categories. You don't have to go crazy, but get some up there. Start a headshot Instagram or a Square website or one of those things, so you can get the pictures someplace to put them that's different than your Instagram/website for your acting, because you don't want to be the actor that shoots headshots. You kind of want to be that, but you don't want the public that's looking for you as an actor to see you as a photographer. It's a different kind of thing. You want to have that separate. You can definitely connect them, but you want to have them live separately. So once you've done that, the simplest thing to do, and the next thing to do, is to, like I said, when you're shooting the free people, let them know that, hey, you're trying to do this as a business, and if they have anybody that they know that could use a headshot, that if they could refer them to you, and that this is your rate, and you can basically start that way, and then I would go out and, again, I'll put up once you have all your pictures and your portfolio ready, go onto all your social platforms, put it out there. Because you're already connected, right? You know people that know people that know people that are actors. So you want to now put it out there that you're doing this. I don't think you need to go too crazy at first, because like I said, a lot of this comes through word of mouth. And you don't need to go crazy investing in running ads and stuff in the beginning if you are on top of the free things that you can do. You get yourself listed on Google, get yourself a website, which isn't that expensive, and put yourself in places where other actors are, and just let them know that you do it. That's the best way to do it, right? Because we aren't going to, hopefully, be like, I'm just going to stop doing everything I'm doing and just to be a headshot photographer. you're going to take time to build it up. So let yourself get some feet under you. This is one of those areas where you want to make sure you have decent gear. You don't have to have the best gear in the world to shoot headshots, but you want to have a camera that is, modern enough that it's going to, be sharp. It's going to be able to shoot, take the abuse of being shot every day, and get good quality color and stuff. I mean, most digital cameras these days are going to do that, so it's not a huge deal. People you don't know might be sometimes impressed by bigger, fancier cameras, but the reality is that almost any camera you pick up that's, within the last couple of years is going to be more than fine for a headshot. You don't have to go crazy. I would, although this is true of all photography for me, I would invest in the lights, because if you're going to be a headshot photographer, you can very easily, if you have a nice window or something, just shoot with natural light and it can be very beautiful and flat. But what you have to remember about headshots is that in general, we don't want to do a lot of post work to them, right? People that are getting the headshot done, when somebody's looking at your headshot, it shouldn't look like this painted over, retouched image. Like your headshot should look like you, right? Yeah, you're going to retouch it a couple pimples or whatever if it doesn't look perfect, but you don't want to have to rely on that. So you want your lighting to look good, and you want it to sculpt them, and make them look really nice. If you shoot with just flat light, you're going to end up having to probably use post-production to make the lighting look nicer, by tweaking out your highlights or whatever. And that's a whole other video. I'm not a big fan of that. Give yourself some light. You don't have to go crazy. You could do constant lights. A lot of actors like constant lights. They've told me. I mean, they're used to them from being in film, and it's easier for the photographer in some ways because you can see what you're getting. Downside is you have to crank your ISO a bit, but if your camera's pretty new, that's not really going to be an issue. So nice set of constant lights, whether they be like LED lights or tungsten lights are a great investment really early on, and a lot of people are going away from them because they're hot, and that has been going on for a while, but they create really nice light and a lot of power for the amount of money you're investing in them. So I'm a fan of tungsten lights when you're first starting, especially because they are, relatively speaking, cheap. Yes, you can get cheap LEDs. They usually have terrible color. And yes, you can do a white balance, but the thing is, if the lights are missing colors, they're not going to produce good skin tone, and we want good skin tone because most headshots these days are in color. So you want beautiful skin tone. You want to use tungsten or, good LEDs. I think people are moving away from fluorescent, but good fluorescent like KinoFlow can be very nice for headshots because it's super soft and forgiving, yet you can still kind of shape it a bit. So, Kinos are very nice. They're not cheap. So I've seen a lot of people out there doing headshots with a lot of different things, as simple as a speed light all the ways up to massive, productions of stuff. So really get what you want. Just make sure that it separates the person from the background, makes them look their best as far as contrast and stuff on the skin, and gives you accurate color. That's all you really got to care about for it. And, watch some tutorials, see what people are doing to produce headshots. You don't want your headshot to be about the photo, you want it to be about the actor. So it's a little different than some types of photography where you want to kind of show off a little bit as the photographer, here's my technique, whatever. In a headshot, it should be all about them. So you want to keep it as simple as possible, and you want to produce these images that are repeatable so you can do it for everybody, right? That have a little bit of flavor and your own style to it. Now, as you start to expand your reach, every single new person you bring in, you should, again, let them know, hey, if you like my stuff, can you please tag me, blah, blah. Now, one thing you can do, and a lot of people do this, although they keep it on the lowdown, is actors need new headshots all the time. So a good thing to do is to tell people if they are, once they've shot with you, that if they become a repeat customer, you'll give them some kind of discount. Because that just keeps people, feel like they get something, like you appreciate them coming back. But also, the more you shoot somebody, the easier it is for you. So if the first time somebody sits down to shoot for you, it might take you, 3-4 hours to get the really great shots that you want. Once they've come back 2 or 3 times, they're in an hour. So it's worth your time to want that repeat customer. So I usually offer some kind of discount. You could also get them on a mailing list, which is a good idea, and then you can just do discounted days where you're going to be in there and you can shoot a bunch of people and be like, hey, if I get 4 people to sign up this day, then everybody can get $50 off or whatever. There's lots of different ways to do it. Still, though, what you really want is people to recommend you because they love your work and not because you're the cheapest. So try not to go that route, I recommend. So eventually you're going to want to have, for this kind of business, you're going to want to have, Square or one of those systems where you can take credit cards, because you're going to be dealing with higher levels of money from individuals. So cash seems like a good idea, but I would stay away from doing cash business if you can, because you want to make sure you keep track of everything for your taxes. So make sure you pay taxes, do all that stuff. That's super important. And yeah, I think headshot business is really smart to get into. You can grow from there to do other kinds of portraits and other things. And it's a good kind of in if you already have some connection with people that you think might need headshots. So hopefully this has been helpful to you. This was, I guess, actors' headshots. I said headshots, but actors' headshots. Maybe we'll do another one about portraiture and other things. I'm going to try to do several of these, kind of talking through some of my thoughts on how you would start different types of photography businesses. Let me know if this is helpful, guys. Let me know what you do. Have you got any headshots photographers here? Any people that want to do it? Any actors, who's out there watching this video? Let me know. And subscribe if you're interested. And I'll see you next time.